Hi everyone. So my name is Shari and I also teach at University of the Philippines Open University. And I'm also actually a product of itself. I was a undergraduate student there. I learned Bachelor of Arts in Multimedia Studies. So today I'll be talking about this passion project of mine, which was also a version of my undergraduate thesis, which is about interpretations of mental illnesses. So today I'll be focusing on more on behind the scenes, the background of the project and its variations, as well as what might come next. Okay, so the title is Inconvenient Silence. Let me just, there's a bit of a lag. Okay, whoops. Okay, so the title is Inconvenient Silence. You can also access it through this QR code as well as the URL. So it's framevr.io/trialx. So it took on different forms. The first is actually just an online exhibit on a plain website, and then that was it. And that was my undergraduate thesis, because I also didn't know about VR back then. And then after that, I applied for a grant at the National Commission for Culture and the Arts in the Philippines. And then I received grant so that I could turn it into an actual physical exhibit. And then from there, it went to different universities, and the last was also a part of the UP system, which was University of the Philippines, Los Baños. So I'm continuously invited to give talks about this passion project of mine, and it actually became quite difficult to just show pictures. And I want the people to also be immersed in the exhibit and to actually experience it. And so that is why, since Bobby introduced me to Frame VR, I created the digital twin of it. Okay, next. So a bit about the project. The creative process started when I began my extensive research. So the first step was to gain knowledge about the history, symptoms, the treatment, and the management of the different mental illnesses. Aside from these secondary sources, primary sources were also used. So I was able to interview some of the people who actually experience different mental illnesses. And then for the ones that I cannot interview persons or people experiencing those, I was able to interview nurses who got stationed at different psych wards. So for example, we have here schizophrenia. Schizophrenics cannot distinguish fantasy from reality, so even if I was able to talk to them, it really wouldn't make much sense. So I have this nurse friend, and she was the one who talked to me about what schizophrenics feel, what they do, and then from there I was able to interpret it that way. And then next is, okay, so the list contained 14 illnesses ranging from phobias, anxiety disorders, and more. I narrowed it down by choosing the illnesses that are commonly misunderstood or mistaken for another, one or two illnesses from different categories, and by considering if each illness can be photographed or presented in a way that will still be true to its definitions and experiences of the people. I also have this disclaimer that not every illness is gonna be same for the people who experience it. It will differentiate by people and their experience and their backgrounds and a lot of factors, which is why I kept my interpretations as close as possible to the definitions and the experiences of the people that I was able to talk to. Okay, next is moving on. So the stories about their day-to-day lives, their great days, their worst moments, all of those have influenced me in different ways to create scenarios and come up with concepts. Documentaries and extensive research also greatly affected how I interpreted the different mental illnesses. So, okay, next. The virtual exhibit takes visitors on a journey through the complexities of the mind and the challenges faced by those living with mental illnesses. Visitors are invited to share their own struggles with mental health, including the challenges and stigma they have faced in seeking help and support. This digital twin of the physical exhibit is fairly new, and I have introduced it to just a few people, but we'll get to that later. And this part right here, the right part, is actually the results from the physical exhibits that I have done. And in all of its exhibit runs, these three themes keep on popping up, which is about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So, for life, under this theme are entries about life in general, and all of the entries, or most of them, appreciated life, and some entries were about the visitors' mundane thoughts, even those were there, and what is going on in their lives. So there are entries like that. And then for liberty, excuse me. Okay, for liberty, it's about private information responses. There were responses about their own struggles and political responses as well. And then the pursuit of happiness is they want to be free from something that's keeping them from being free. So there. And then again, this is the extension of the physical exhibit, and they were encouraged to really share their inconvenient silences. I'm still gathering responses from the virtual version of it, and we can actually see it. I'll show it to you in a bit, but I have received maybe 15 responses. And what I want to see is what are the results that are gonna come from this, because during the physical runs, it really showed what kind of community is present in that university, what are the problems that exist with regards to mental health in that university, and all sorts of stuff. But since it's gonna go, I think, virtual and maybe globally, what are the issues that might arise from this? Okay, so this is actually my second to the last slide. I'm doing this because I want to promote understanding and compassion. Inconvenient Silence aims to break down the stigma and promote mental wellness for all. So now I want to know what kind of experience are we gonna get from this? Is it going to evoke emotions just as much as a physical exhibit can do? Is it going to get responses or spark conversations just like the ones that were in the physical space? So there. And to end, I would like to remind everyone to always be kind, and thank you very much.